By the way, Jacqueline, right, as of now, I win. It's just, as of now, I win. All right, I was just saying, is there anybody waiting to sign in? If not, we're going to start. Okay. All right, good morning, everybody. And is Vimeo started? Jacqueline, can you check if Mike Jorgensen has started the Vimeo?
Yes, for sure he has.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm Steve Geller, Broward County Commissioner. I'd like to thank everybody for being here today. You'll note that although it says that there's 3 of us, there are actually only 2 of us today. Catherine Minnis, unfortunately, had a death in the family and is not going to be here today or I think the rest of the week. And I, again, appreciate everybody being here. And let me just do as I normally do, explain the purpose of this group. And unfortunately, I was very busy and didn't have the chance to pound the pavement like I normally do, trying to get more people here, but we will have larger attendance at our next meeting. It is my belief, and I think everybody in this room shares that belief, that one of the big problems that is facing us right now is a shortage of workers. Their recent polling shows that 135% of all parents want their kids to go to college. I normally do that, and people say, yeah, that's right. And then I point out you can't have more than 100% believing that. But the actual polling shows that 95% of parents want their kids to go to college, and that's great. But we know that 95% of kids are not going to graduate college. So what ends up happening is you have a lot of people that either enroll in college, frequently at private for-profit or exclusive private universities, private colleges or exclusive private universities, pile up a whole mound of student debt and then never graduate. Or if they do graduate and their degree is in music theory, and unless they're planning on being a professional musician, you have the most educated and cultured waiters and waitresses at the Cheesecake Factory with $100,000 in debt. And as a lot of the people in this room will know, there are other paths to a very good middle class, upper middle class living. And a lot of that are the building trades. Now, I've done my best to narrow down the age, but as far as I can tell, the median age in the skilled building trades is between 49 and 54, depending on what trade you're talking about. What that means is that the cohort that we have of skilled workers right now is and will be aging out, and they're not being replaced because too many younger people think that the only thing that they can do to earn a living is, involves either their thumbs or typing, and everybody wants to be an influencer or a programmer of some sort. And, I don't understand, since, I grew up after they came out with all of the social media, I don't really understand influencers, but they seem to do well, the 1/10 of 1%. That do this. It's like being a professional athlete. Yeah, you can make a lot of money for a small handful of people. But we've had generations of people that have built this country by working in the building trades and other skilled professions. I'm not sure if welders, I guess welders are building trades, but skilled mechanics, diesel mechanics, these are skilled jobs. If you are an electrician, a heavy equipment operator, an HVAC mechanic, and you're working 50 hours a week, 40 hours a week regular, 10 a time and a half, 5 years after you get your journeyman's license, if you're not earning 100,000 a year, you're pretty close to it. These are the kinds of upper middle class jobs that built this country. These jobs are not exportable to other countries. You have lazy people like me that need to hire these people because I'm not climbing onto my roof and I'm not messing with my own electrical stuff because I'll kill myself, which would be bad. So I've been doing everything that I can to encourage more of these jobs, because if we don't get more people into these jobs, our economy is going to come grinding to a halt. There is a joke that the state bird of Florida is the crane, the building crane in this case, and if we don't have the equipment, if we don't have the operators, heavy equipment operators, but also the iron workers, the steel workers, the electricians, plumbers, carpenters, IUPAD, I see them here. If we don't have glazers, if we don't have the people to do all of these things, our economy is going to come to a halt, and we need these jobs. They are good jobs of the type that built this country. So that's why we're here today. I know we have a good presence here from the school board. We have traditionally, I mean, if the school board ever finally settles on a long-term superintendent, they will be coming. We've had the past two superintendents come to our meetings, but I think it's unlucky to come to this meeting because it seems like within a couple of months of coming to one of our meetings, they end up not being superintendents any longer. I shouldn't say that because I do want the next permanent superintendent to start coming to our meetings again, but a lot of this is done through the schools. A lot of this is done by reaching out to parents, because however much parents think teenagers don't listen to them, they really are still, and teenagers won't admit it, but parents really still are the biggest influencers on them. We have groups here, we have the Boys and Girls Club, we have JA, we have vocational colleges. One of the things we've got organized labor. One of the, I know I saw, I believe, at least 2 GCs here. By talking to each other, we're going to be finding out a lot of the different programs that we have found we don't know about. And one other thing, I have my email list, I think, is somewhere around relatively small, 7,000 people, something like that. I know some of the other commissioners have larger, some of the other commissioners have smaller. But when we have functions coming up that are specifically trying to get people, get high school students, or even younger, even middle school into pre-apprenticeships, but typically into high school students that are juniors and seniors, and they're looking at their choices of careers. And if your group has something that will encourage people to look more seriously at these careers, and you need help in publicizing this, if you will let me know and give me sufficient notice, I can put it out on my email list. I can encourage the other commissioners to put it out on their email list. I can at Broward County publicize it on our county emails. Again, I feel passionately on this subject. As a county commissioner, my highest priority has been the creation of high-paid jobs. So let me know, I'm from the government, we're here to help, ha, 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 but in this case, seriously, let us know what we can do. Also, we'll be hearing today on dealing with returning citizens. We'll be hearing from the marine industries on shipyard service technicians. We'll be hearing from CareerSource on RA-OJT funds, which I don't know what RA-OJT, but basically it's a way of getting funding for your new employees while they're in training. We are always looking for other topics. At our next meeting, I'm expecting, we meet quarterly, we're looking at Broward College speaking. Now, if you don't know about the Broward College program, they have more than one, but my favorite one, which I love and want to publicize more, is they have a program where if you have your journeyman's license, you will get a certain amount of college credit at Broward College, and you can then go for another 3-4 years, part-time while you're working, get a bachelor's degree, and I believe it's in business, and they will teach you how to, HR, tech, bookkeeping, all of the things that you need to know to start your own small business. And that's one of the reasons, again, I'm such a big proponent of the trades, because so many tradespeople, electricians, plumbers, air conditioners, you see them advertised all the time, roofers, go out and start their own small businesses. And that's the American dream. That's the American story. Work hard, start your business, develop one that you can pass on to your family. That's what, we're going to hear from at the next meeting, Broward College. I'm expecting Boys and Girls Club, and I haven't mentioned to the Alliance yet, but I see them here and would like you guys to talk about the program that you have, reaching out to, is it the 5 targeted zip codes? 6 targeted zip codes.
Prosperity Broward.
Yeah, Prosperity Broward, and would like you to present at our next meeting on that. So, what we'll be doing today is if your group has something that you think would be beneficial for us to hear about, let us know. We'll put you on the agenda at a future meeting. If there's something you need us to publicize, let us know. We'll work on that. If there are other people that you think we should be adding to our invitation list, so that, again, the larger we are, the more people hear about all of these programs, talk to each other, the better we are. So if there's other people that should be added to our list that you think would be helpful, please let us know, and we'll start inviting them. Also, after today's meeting is over, this meeting is being recorded. It is being recorded on Vimeo, and we will send you the link to the Vimeo tape. So if you want to share the recording of this meeting on your email list or on your website, or if you just want to share it with other people from your organization, you'll be able to. So, by the way, the agenda, there is another meeting coming up, January, March, April, May 4th, which is the My Next Move event. Jacqueline, can you describe exactly what that is? Or okay, can you come to Mike and explain what the My Next Move event is? And we will be sending everybody email reminders on that. Please. I think, yeah. Okay. Try now. No?
I can yell, but I know you're recording.
Yeah,
Hello? Hello?
yeah.
Hey, how you doing? Jim Payne, Broward County Public Schools, the My Next Move event. Thank you so much for helping us promote it in coordination with the Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance. The idea is that we engage at every single high school, our 40-something high schools across the district, seniors that are about to graduate that don't necessarily have a plan of what they're going to do. We know, and one of the things we talked about college, we say everyone needs post-secondary education. They don't necessarily need a 4-year degree, but they're going to need something. Apprenticeship is a great model. So we invite industry, local industry that's coming, you don't necessarily have to hire on the spot, but we're looking for people that are willing to hire high school graduates right out of high school and that get them on a path to a career. We bus in these kids. It's at Arthur Ashe campus of Atlantic Technical College from 10 to 1. We run all those kids through, and hopefully we make some connections and these kids get some careers. There's still space if you want to get involved as a business. On the flyer, it talks about Mr. Randy Dyke, who is our contact for doing that. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And while you're up there, the Broward schools run I think it's three of the top technical schools I think in the state of Florida. Can you?
Correct. We
briefly-
have three technical colleges that fall under Broward County Public Schools. Atlantic Technical College in the north, McFadder in kind of the central area, and Sheridan Technical College in the south. Atlantic Technical College is the largest provider of apprenticeship programs in the state of Florida. They're the Learning Educational Association for the highest number. And it's great programming. Kids can come. We do career dual enrollment, where students can be in high school and start that path. They can start taking those post-secondary courses. And then also we do, direct matriculation where they graduate and go right in. So trying to get them into the trades, because as you said, you can get a job and earn money without accumulating $80,000 worth of debt.
Thank you. And again, you'll be hearing more about this, and I'm really pleased about the relationship that we have with the Broward County Public School System. We're working together, all with the same goal of understanding what he just said, that you really do need post-high school training to get a good job. But what that post-high school training is, it's not all four-year universities. It's four-year universities, it's doctoral programs, it's four-year universities, it's technical two-year degrees, it's the building trades and other similar trades. So everybody needs some post-high school training, but it's not all, four-year degree. So at this point in time, what I'm going to do by starting is to have my Chief of Staff, Jacqueline Garcia Arteaga, pass around the mic, and I will ask you to introduce yourself, tell us who you are, what the organization you work for, and any major issues that, a minute or less, that you think that we should be aware of.
My name is John Parker. I'm with Balfour Beatty Construction. We're the design builder over the Broward County Convention Center Hotel project. Appreciate the invite and the opportunity to be here. We have about 100 trade partners that are working on the job. I have my assistant, Lisa Falso, and Lisa Colon outside council helping us so that we can introduce ourselves to opportunities to get more individuals in Broward working on the project. I've had the fortunate opportunity to work with Michael McDonald. We've done very well with the CBE program, but I have a personal interest in trying to help the community any way that we can. So I'm going to work with Rob and some others to get introduced to some of you. I just met with James and some other folks. We're going to get out there. We're going to get our name out, and we're going to provide opportunities for young individuals coming out of school. So don't know how I'm going to do that, but we're going to figure it out. Thank you.
Anytime. JC?
Good morning. J.C. Garcia with IUPAT, Trade Show Specialty Events Division. Pretty much, we're here, same thing you were talking about. The age group that we have right now is between that 45 and 55 years old in the mark, and the main thing right now is the recruiting and the retention in the industry. And trying to recruit, younger folks with an alternate career with great paying jobs, benefits, and so that's the reason we're here, is trying to get, we're affiliated with all the parties and see how we can go to these career days, senior days, and get together with different affiliations so we can try to make this happen for the future. Because we are in the trade show industry, it's booming right now, and it seems like it's just going, it's nonstop right now. Thank you.
Well, good morning. My name is Dr. Anita Davis Defoe, and I am the Director of Workforce Development for Gang Alternatives. Gang Alternatives provides a wide range of career readiness, employability, and workforce development services.
And they will be one of our speakers in just a few minutes.
Thank you. for youth of all ages. What I would share most, our approach to workforce development is really focused on two best practices. A big focus on workplace behaviors that employers require. So we focus a lot on that because 75% of success on the job really comes from workplace behaviors, not from technical skills. And also we do a big emphasis on focusing on what has been talked about so far, the fact that everyone needs a post-secondary credential, and the skills that are required for going into the building and construction trades are the same if you're going into and to get a 4-year degree. So we do a lot on career assessment and career identification, and those are key things because there's a lot of misunderstanding about the building and construction trades and the opportunities there. So the more we're able to really to expose young adults about the opportunities and let them know, because there's a lot of confusion about what the opportunities really present themselves. So thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Victoria Brown. I'm Senior Program Manager with Gang Alternative Incorporated. We'll be presenting in a little bit, but thank you for the invite, and I look forward to hearing from everyone.
Thank you.
There you go, thanks. Good morning, everybody. I'm Mark Shoneman. I'm president of South Florida Building Trades. We represent thousands of construction trades, women and men in the construction industry in Dade, Broward. And we also run probably 10 apprenticeship programs that represent hundreds of apprentices learning trades for the construction industry. So I appreciate being invited. We can change a lot of lives here collectively, and I think that's what the goal is. So appreciate the opportunity.
Hello, I'm Jonathan Ellingwood. I'm a business agent for the operating engineers, and I'm here to make contacts and hear what everybody has to say.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Barbara Cevieux. I am the Business Services Manager at CareerSource Broward for construction, technology, and the marine industry.
Also one of our speakers shortly.
And I will be speaking shortly. So I'll be sharing some information with you, and I would like to give you my card so we can go a little further into what we do as an agency.
Good morning. My name is Carol Hilton, and I'm the president of CareerSource Broward. CareerSource Broward is your local workforce board, and I see at least about 4 board members. It's a primarily private sector board that really is working to improve the life of our residents of Broward. I won't steal her thunder because she's speaking in a few minutes, but I just want to say that we did receive additional $1.4 million from Children's Services Council to put additional kids in the summer program. This year we will be putting around 1,000 kids into an 8-week work experience. We're doing our best to marry the kids to their career interest, so I would encourage all employers to sign up to host a youth. It really is a savings of about $5,000 per youth that you take. We have increased the wages to $14 an hour because it's important that they understand the value of what to do with a paycheck, and also so that they get to experience what the real world of work is like, so that they can make choices as they get older, because it's not just a high school, not just a college degree anymore, and you'll hear that often. It really is apprenticeship programs, and it really is certification, so we're excited about that. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Eugenio Reyes from Advanced Roofing. I'm the skilled trade recruiter, and supporting all of that have been said here, we do have a program for the roofers, and we are trying to have a new program for the air systems and for the solar panels installation as well. So we are working tight with CareerSource, with ABC, and Boys and Girls and other institutions to gather more people coming on board for our programs.
And Advanced Roofing has just been doing a great job in creating jobs for younger people.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Yvonne Green with College and Career Readiness at Broward Schools. And I'm excited to be here because we just partnered with ABC and CareerSource at an event we had at Dave Thomas 2 weeks ago, and the district is very committed. Our College Career Readiness Office is deeply committed to students finding viable careers in these industries, so we're always excited to be here.
Good morning. My name is Erica Obando. I'm the president of TPE Coaching and Consulting. I help companies unlock their employees' potential and performance by bringing wellness solutions to the company by way of offering it as benefits. Going to what Steve Geller said, as far as our next generation, I do a lot of mentoring with students at Lynn, FAU, FIU, and a lot of the nonprofit organizations, JA, Women of Tomorrow, and without fail, the kids that I mentor and talk to, what they want is to be seen, heard, and valued, and to change the conversation of the workplace as far as addressing the wellness conversation, not only for our next generation youth, but also for the existing employees. Everybody has wellness situations that they have to deal with, and so I come alongside the companies to help them address that, kind of like addressing the pink elephant in the room, TPE. It's not about ignoring it, it's about addressing it so you can see profitability.
Thank you. Okay, Jacqueline, please help them pass along the mic so they know who to get it next.
Good morning. Lori Wheeler, Vice President of the Marine Industries Association of South Florida.
Who will be our last speaker today? Okay, go ahead.
Wow, no pressure.
No.
Anyway, I will save it for when I go up there, but it's nice to see everybody.
Good morning, I'm Amy Weiner. I'm the Executive Assistant at the Marine Industry Association.
Good morning, I'm Randy Deitch, the Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance Director of Talent Attraction and Education. And a little bit of work was already expressed with James. We're partnering together, Broward County Public Schools, on My Next Move on May 4th. Our work is about addressing the attitude and aspirations, knowledge and skills of what you're doing with our future talent. That is the biggest area right now. There's organizations who are doing great jobs with the knowledge and skill piece. It's really working with our students and our parents, our families, our brace advisors on the attitude and aspirations that multiple pathways leads to high-wage careers. Thank you for the invite. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you.
Good morning. Robert from the Carpenters and Pile Drivers Union. I come from the heavy highway side of it, where we train the guys how to work around barges, cranes from water to land. And the training coordinator brought me out here. Thanks for having me, and hopefully that we can work together and put something in place. Thank you.
One of the meetings that we had was at the Carpenters Hall, where we were all amazed at the training program that y'all had. Everybody thought that carpenters are just people with, using a saw. And when we saw everything that you were doing with hospital work and compliance with all of the rules and regulations and training and all of that, we were all amazed.
Thank you.
Jason Hearn, Program Coordinator for the South Florida Carpenters and Pile Drivers. Thank you for allowing me to be here.
Good morning. My name is Lene Jackson Orange. I'm Senior Program Manager at OIC of South Florida, and I'll be presenting later.
OIC.
Good morning. I'm Holly Elazar, Director of Workforce Development at OIC of South Florida.
Right. I'm sorry. I have two speakers, Victoria Brown and Lenny Jackson Orange, both speaking on the same topic. Okay. Thanks.
Good morning. I'm Vicki Timoney. I'm Director of Marketing for OIC South Florida. It's literally my 4th day on the job, so I am super excited to be here and to meet all of you and to learn about all that you do. So I'm very excited. Thank you.
I'd like to welcome you to Broward County working, and I'm sure you'll do a great job. You're working for a great program.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Weigel. I'm the Director of Business Development for ABC Institute. At the moment, we offer 6 trades. We're hoping to launch solar and pipe fitting in August. And I'd love you guys to know that we're also, we've just launched a program for veterans, designed by veterans, which is essentially an internship where if they're interested in construction management, once they come out of the military, we can help that transition into the civilian world and get them a foot in the door in construction management. So if you'd like to be a part of it, if you know any veterans that would also benefit from it, please come by and let me know.
Okay. And is ABC the largest provider of the apprenticeships in South Florida?
In Florida, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And by the way, at our last meeting, I believe it was, we were also expressed an interest in working with the veterans community and had a speaker on this. So anything we can do to assist in, that both it's good for the economy because people just don't give veterans enough credit for the great experience they have, but it's also good for the country to support our veterans.
Absolutely,
Thank you for that.
absolutely. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, my pleasure.
Okay, next.
Good morning. I'm Ashley Gobio. I do government and political affairs for Associated Builders and Contractors, Florida East Coast chapter.
Good morning. I'm Ron Drew. I'm the Executive Vice President of the Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance, and we're the county's partner on economic development, looking to bring high-wage jobs to Broward County and really make sure the residents here have great jobs. And we absolutely partner with many of you, but agree with Senator Geller that the building trades is a foundation for high-paying jobs, and we've got to have these jobs and the companies that do the work in that area if we're going to continue to be successful as a community. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Rob Evans. I work for CareerSource Broward. I'm also the Director of Workforce Services for the Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance. I do a lot of helping companies and partners doing recruiting services as well as training grants as well. And I can tell you I love this meeting, and it's just great to see everybody here because I work with almost all you here. So thank you.
And the meeting loves you.
Morning, Ronnie Carballo. I work for the International Union of Painters and Allied Trade, and I represent the painters in South Florida.
Good morning, everyone. Xavier Cepeda, and I am business rep for the IUPAT.
Good morning. My name is Rick Schawbell. I'm the training director for Florida East Coast Electrical JTC, Broward County CareerSource board member.
Good morning. My name is Zach Cassidy, business manager of IBW Local 728, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Glad to be here with all of you. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rick Lopez. I'm an organizer for IBEW Local Union 728. I work with Zach and Rick Schawbell right here. Glad to be here.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Shanette Grant, and I'm the Chief of Programs at Junior Achievement of South Florida. I'm going to let my CEO talk about all the wonderful things, but relevant to maybe this group is our state-approved pre-apprenticeship program that we launched. Great pipeline for many of your apprenticeship programs and, of course, your workforce needs. So you can add to all of that, boss.
And I was there at your first graduating class.
Jim Payne, Broward County Public Schools, over career and technical education, working with a lot of you guys in a lot of ways. I'd just like to say my real focus and our focus at this level is to create large processes that are going to help move more kids kind of in bulk from high school to you guys. That includes our Claim Your Future event in February, our My Next Move coming up in May, Talent Forge and our work-based learning program, trying to get all our juniors into real internships over the summer, as well as we're going to try to roll out a career signing day where we're getting sort of initial acceptance into both apprenticeships and tech colleges, and these kids will be signing off kind of like they do for regular college to elevate the idea of kids going into apprenticeships and into the trades to the same level as a kid getting into a four-year university.
We got applause.
Yeah, that was my applause.
Hi, I'm Bobby Pagan. I am the Senior Career Specialist at Mission United, United Way. Hope you guys are having a super dope-alicious, groovy, fantastic day. So don't use super dope-alicious, trademarked by me. And if I do, I really need the money, and I will sue. But that being said, I work with veterans all day, and what's important is my two challenges that I have. Well, opportunities. We don't call them challenges anymore. Opportunities is ageism and our veterans that are justice involved and trying to prevent them from recidivism. So we don't want them back in where they came from. We want them to be productive members of our society. Ageism, as in our older veterans that do come for me within my homeless veteran reintegration program, is they're having a hard time finding a job because employers want that young blood, which is what we're talking about today. You know, younger people, they're vibrant, to say the least, but we have to give our older veterans a chance. And why hire a veteran? Because veterans are kick butt, because I'm one of them. So that being said, there you go.
Good morning, everyone. Laurie Salarulo, President and CEO of Junior Achievement. Just to piggyback on Shanette's points, we are so fortunate to have the partnerships that we do with Broward County Public Schools, with CareerSource Broward, and so many other organizations, the Alliance here. You know, our focus for over 100 years has been workforce readiness, entrepreneurship, and financial literacy, right? Earning money, managing it, saving it, and growing it. I think it's important, and Senator Geller touched on this, our kids don't even know about these career pathways. Mm-hmm. And before they even get to the point of all of these great things we're doing, and by the way, we all need to be doing them because we have how many hundreds of thousands of kids in Broward, and so together, right, we can certainly serve more of them. So we're not in competition with each other. We are in collaboration with each other. But I think it's important, JA, because of the partnership with Broward County Schools, has the opportunity to serve every single Broward County student, starting to expose them and make them aware of your careers through programs in the classroom and at JA World from 5th grade, 8th grade, and then again in high school. So if we don't expose them and their parents when they are younger, right, it'll be a lot harder for us to get them into these programs and these careers later on. So thanks for the opportunity for that. So.
Good morning. My name is Roseanne Farino. I'm the apprenticeship coordinator for Broward County Schools. I am basically the liaison between the apprentices and present apprentices and potential apprentices between me and our partners like Mr. Shawbell here, who from the union, I'm an electrician, Mr. Shoneman at ABCI. We work together. We provide a lot of the funding to assist with them to be able to provide their educational portion. We are also looking to expand, so if you're new and up and coming, we would be grateful to have you work with us and set up your programs with Ms. Valerie Hilsman, who will help us along with setting up the standards and promoting your programs. We're also having a job fair on April 27th at Atlantic Tech. If you're available and you still would like to participate, please contact Ms. Willis at Broward County Schools Atlantic Technical College campus, and she'll be glad to have you. Thank you for having me.
And if you get us information on that, we'll do our best to publicize it.
I definitely will.
Thank you. Good morning, David.
Good morning, all. My name is Nelson Million, International Union of Elevator Constructors, Local 71, business representative. Just here to hear about apprenticeship programs.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, I'm Valerie Hilsman, the State Apprenticeship Representative. We are the Apprenticeship Registration Agency. I also want to report that there's a SAC meeting coming up. It's called the State Apprenticeship Council. It will be in Tallahassee the week of the 17th. So if you're interested in learning more about apprenticeship, that is a good avenue to come to. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Christy Andrioni. I'm with Film Lauderdale, the Broward County Film Commission. We have presented at one of these meetings before, so some of you might be aware of what it is we do as the Film Commission. But what's relevant to the building trades and the relationship we want to build with this group is that we're very busy with on-location filming throughout Broward County, so people filming in parks, on the beaches, and homes and such. But there's a large studio complex being developed in Fort Lauderdale that's going to have multiple sound stages. And once that is up and running, we are going to need a lot of resources with local talent for people transferring skills in the trades and utilizing them for that studio. So right now, the Film Commissioner, Sandy Leiterman, is doing a lot of research and work with local schools and local career programs to look into ways that we might be able to have training for cross-training for existing skills. So somebody that has skills in construction would take a weekend course to transfer those skills to a film set. There is a bridge to gap there because it's not exactly the same type of job, but the skills are definitely transferable, and because there will be such a need in that market once those studios are up and running, we want to do that legwork to build up some of that programming now. So we're doing the research at this point. But thank you all for having us today, and looking forward to hearing about what everybody's doing with these programs.
Thank you. I don't want to get involved into inter-union fights, but for example, people that build the backdrops, things like that, are carpenters, but they actually have a separate union that does that. There are also, when you see all the credits, the grips, those are really electricians. So, I mean, there are a lot of the trade skills that will be involved in the film programs.
Dave Rosenoff, co-founder of Big Dog Construction Services, about to be an alumni of Broward CBE program. We're about to grow out of it. Happy to be here.
Thank you.
And they're about to do work on Broward County.
Oh, really?
You have one more intro.
Good morning. My name is Natalie Ramirez. I work for the School Board of Broward County. I am a college advisor. I also have a business called Learn It, Live It, Love It, and it's kind of focusing on basically helping these kids get encouraged to do what they have to do when it comes to hands-on positions and succeed in those areas.
Is there anyone, I think that's everyone, is there anyone that has not yet introduced themselves? If not, today, and by the way, this meeting ends at 11. If you've ever been to any of my meetings, when I say we end at 11, you can set your clock that we will end no later than 11 or 12 or whatever time the meeting is scheduled to end, because we're all busy people. So we're going to hear today from 4 different groups or people. We're first going to hear from Victoria Brown at Gang Alternative and Lanny Jackson Orange at OIC. Then we're going to hear from Lori Wheeler at Marine Industries, then Barbara Cevieux at CareerSource, and finally, batting cleanup will be Sandy Mike McDonald, and then we're done. So first, if I can ask Victoria Brown and Lanny Jackson Orange to come to the head of the room. What we will be hearing, the two of them will be talking about is the issue of returning citizens. When I spent 20 years in the Florida legislature, one of the problems that we have that we really need to realistically look at is the legislature has had a habit of passing every year, it seems, additional restrictions on what former, if you've spent time in prison, other new and other careers that you can't work in. And this is causing real problems because people will get out of prison. They should be getting out of prison, and we want them to be able to have reasonable career choices so that they can make productive citizens of themselves. And when the choice every year gets narrowed so that, yeah, you can be a day laborer and that's it, and that's a slight exaggeration, but you know, this really is a problem. We are very short on our workforce now. Everybody knows that. One area that we should be focusing more on is returning citizens for 2 reasons. Number 1, we need the jobs. Number 2, they need the jobs. So it should be a good marriage. So I don't know which order the 2 of you will be speaking in, but first, either order, Gang Alternative and OIC. Just whichever of you want to speak first. Yes, please, from there. And that one, or wherever she tells you. Thank you. I just sit up here and pontificate. My staff does the real work. And I can see it right here.
All right. Good morning again. My name is Victoria Brown. Excuse me. Would that work?
Yeah, I think she wants to face.
I just don't like her.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good. Thank you. Good morning. So I'm Victoria Brown, Senior Program Manager from Gang Alternative Incorporated. At Gang Alternative, we have been serving South Florida since 2005. We expanded into Broward County in 2017, and we recently expanded into Palm Beach County. We are a licensed DCF Level 1 and Level 2 provider. We are also accredited by CARF, the Commission on Accreditation of Rehabilitation Facilities in Case Management and Prevention Services. And of course, we are a faith-based and community-driven nonprofit organization. So our mission is to build character that lasts in children and families through positive alternatives to crime, violence, and dependency and delinquency by offering a holistic approach to their academic, physical, social, economic, and spiritual development. So a lot of the times when we, reach out to our partners or to the community, they think that we only we only work in gang prevention or gang intervention, but we really are trying to address the gang mentality that keeps people enslaved to poverty and dependency, and we address that through our programs and our services. So with our pillars of the different areas or departments that we have our programs in, we have positive youth development, workforce development, community upliftment and partnerships, health and wellness, and family strengthening. So today I'll be going in a little more detail about our workforce development department and our programs and services that we have available for returning citizens in Broward County. So all of our programs, workforce development programs, as our director mentioned, has evidence-based assessments. So we use these strategies and approaches to kind of help analyze their specific interests and skills and needs, identify any barriers that they may have or any challenges, and then come up with a way to try to help them to overcome those barriers and challenges. We also have case management. We offer occupational and vocational skills training. And we base that on labor market information that we get from our partners, our employer partners, and our different organizations that provide that data to us. We also have work readiness support for them. We provide scholarships for them to earn and gain those credentials. And we also have access to Earn While You Learn training models, including registered apprenticeship programs. And all of our career advisors are certified career service providers through the National Career Development Association. We also have supportive services. So all of our services, legal, transportation, food, housing, clothing, work tools, they're all free to our clients and their families. In Broward County, we have our EFFECT program. It's encouraging full female engagement in construction training. So this is a skills training program focusing on construction and building trades to prepare women for careers in apprenticeships and other non-traditional occupations. So we expose them to the different careers, career pathways. We have mentors. We're also a member of the National Association of Women in Construction to give these women access to different programs and different job opportunities in construction. This also provides free childcare to them as well. And also we partner with different law enforcement agencies, Florida Department of Correction, to get access to different correctional institutions and probation units to be able to provide these services to our returning citizens. But this one specifically focuses on women in the construction and building trades. Oh, and that is available for women 18 and over in Miami-Dade and Broward counties. Then we also have our homeless veterans program called HERO, our Housing, Employment, and Reintegration Opportunities Program. This is funded through the United States Department of Labor. It serves veterans without homes or at risk of losing their homes in Broward County. And it provides training and job placement, services to kind of reintegrate them into the workforce, upskilling, free legal services again, and access to those supportive services to address those complex problems that they face. We also have one of our newer programs, Rewind. This is Returning with Initiative, Networks, and Determination. Of course, you can see we love our acronyms. This is a reentry program to help youth and young adults transition back to their communities. It serves Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties. And it's for young adults who are currently in juvenile detention centers or correctional institutions. This is 18 to 24-year-olds. And again, it's education and occupational skills training in those high demand industries, and also wrap around family-based care coordination. Family-based, we try to make sure that we incorporate their families, give their families those support services and counseling and any funds or needs that they may have to kind of prepare them for that individual to be released. We work with their families closely. So all of our services, we have in-house trauma-focused therapy, so it's therapy. We do it in-home or in our office. We have parenting classes and support, substance use prevention and intervention, and emergency assistance. So all of these services are available in-house, and of course, if there's any particular need that they may have or any service that we do not provide in-house, we will link them to our partners out in the community who serve the same target populations or, you know, have the same objectives and goals. And this is our contact information. I also have cards if anyone has any questions.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
And you may have touched on this earlier, I think you did. One of the big issues that we have heard repeatedly from employers are the soft skills. That, you know, people will, if there's a 9 o'clock appointment, will show up at 9:45 or 10 o'clock and say, hey, no big deal, I'm mostly on time, or, you know, will use inappropriate language or sexual harassment or other things, and nobody has ever trained people on what are termed the soft skills. To what extent does Gang Alternative try and provide that type of training?
That's a good question. So actually, we work with our employers, and we also have an employer industry and advisory committee of employers from different industries and training providers, and they give us that same feedback. Like, I can teach someone how to hammer a nail. I can teach someone how to do these technical skills, but it's those soft skills that they're lacking. So we utilize AccuVision, which is a soft skills assessment that they take. They watch a series of videos, and they pretty much select the best scenario or outcome. And it will print us out a report to show us what those specific deficiencies are, whether it's adaptability, customer service, time management, and then our employment specialists use that information to create one-on-one customized soft skills training for the individual participants that we serve. And then we usually give that printout to the employers, or we use it as a talking point to kind of sell our clients to the employers to kind of say, hey, we're working with them on this. And then we have that line of communication open to where if they have any issues while they're on a job, we're able to step in and assist, give any refreshers or any additional support.
Thank you. That's wonderful. That's the most comprehensive program, or one of the most comprehensive I've heard of. So I may ask people here that don't have something as comprehensive to try and contact you for advice. Are there any other questions before we go to our next speaker? Okay, Jacqueline, can you give her the mic so that, or switch mics? Because remember, we're being taped, so we want everybody to be able to hear.
Yes, can you talk about how students can be referred to your program?
So individuals could be referred to our programs via word of mouth, via our website. We have applications or interest pages where individuals can sign up or ask for additional information about our programs. You can call our offices or our partners. We have referral processes with our partners. It's unique with each partner because there may be specific ways that they may want to refer, whether it's through email or call or bringing them to our office. But anyway, word of mouth is a variety of ways that individuals can be referred to us.
Okay, thank you. I'll ask you to hold any additional questions, and I'll ask you to stay there while we call up Lanny Jackson Orange from OIC, and then after your presentation, I'll ask if there's any questions for either of you, because it's the same topic. Thank you.
If you want.
Thanks.
Good morning again. My name is, again, Lene Jackson Orange, and okay. And I'm from OIC South Florida, as you can see on the screen. And a lot of times when I say I'm from OIC South Florida, a lot of people ask, what does OIC stand for? So I'm going to put your mind at ease. OIC stands for Opportunities Industrialization Centers. And that's the key word, opportunities. Our mission is to provide opportunities to South Florida's youth and adults through training, skill development, and access to meaningful careers. And in this way, these individuals can gain confidence and they can also become self-sufficient. At OIC, we have three main divisions. Our Workforce Development Division provides services to individuals aged 17 and older. By creating a personalized career pathway, we improve our clients' basic academic skills along with providing them with an industry-recognized credential, which will lead to economic mobility. All OIC participants, including those returning from incarceration, are provided intensive case management services, which include housing, transportation, and employment opportunities. Our Training and Development Division allows our participants to realize their career goals. We offer over 20 training certification opportunities, and we are licensed by the Florida Commission for Independent Education, or CIE. This division ensures our suite of offerings use local labor market information to ensure our participants gain family-sustaining employment. Our Youth and Family Division provides student enrichment opportunities aimed at increasing academic proficiency, emotional and social development, decision-making skills, and family strengthening. And our Social Enterprise Division, or Strategic Integration LLC, or OICSI, allows participants to earn between $18.65 an hour to $18.90 an hour in transitional employment opportunities while supporting the needs of the business community through services such as bus shelter maintenance, transit cleaning, landscaping, and hospital-grade cleaning, to name a few. This is a breakdown of our various industry trainings, work readiness, and soft skill trainings that we provide to our participants. We offer certifications in general construction and safety, which includes pre-NCCER, OSHA 10, flagger, and rigging. We also offer trainings in culinary or food service, which would be food handler and food management, customer service, and this training is provided through National Retail Federation. Supply chain management or operations, we have Certified Logistics Associate and Certified Logistics Tech training. And we also provide trainings on information technology. Our work readiness trainings are customized on-site company trainings. So even if an individual at your work site is not a participant of OIC, we can still come to your work site to provide on-site training, such as those soft skills that we mentioned before. Also, we have financial literacy and basic computer training. Our soft skills training, which includes the Florida Ready to Work curriculum, which is endorsed by the state of Florida, includes employability skills, resume writing, mock interviews, time management skills, and professional attire and work ethics. So as we mentioned before, soft skills are essential to the future of work. Two top-level execs from Manpower Group, which is a global leader in innovative workforce solutions, stated that candidates who can perform tasks that AI or artificial intelligence machines cannot are becoming more valuable, and underscores the growing importance of soft skills. So what are some examples of soft skills? Empathy, emotional intelligence, integrity and ethical responsibility, adaptability and resilience, and self-motivated and self-directed. So this is what individuals coming through OIC's programs can learn and be and can also gain this knowledge so that they can take that out into the workforce. Thank you for your time.
Okay. And one more time, OIC also, and I've said this before, they've said this before, but they can provide a very substantial amount of funding for people that employers are providing training for. So they can provide training, they can also provide direct financial assistance to companies that are hiring people. So if you are not familiar with OIC, you ought to be. Are there questions now? We have time for one or two only for either Victoria Brown or Lanny Jackson Orange from either Gang Alternative or OIC. Are there any questions? Going, gone. Thank you for your presentation, both of you. They were excellent. And as I said repeatedly, both of you underscored the importance of the soft job skills. Our next speaker will be Lori Wheeler, Vice President of Marine Industries Association of South Florida. I've said this many times, jobs, jobs, jobs. If you don't understand the impact that the marine industries have in Broward County in particular, but Southeast Florida in general, then you're just not paying attention, because they create so many high-paid jobs. However highly paid a carpenter is, an electrician is, if you're a marine carpenter, marine electrician, you're probably going to be earning even more. These are the yacht, boat yards, the yachts, the smaller boats, these are really highly paid jobs. And I know y'all are also having problems finding people, because you set up your own apprenticeship program and we're having problems finding teachers for it, because the teachers are able to make so much more money actually working. So Lori, tell us about your program.
All right, good afternoon, or good morning. Again, my name is Lori Wheeler, Vice President of the Marine Industries Association of South Florida. And the Yacht Service Technician Apprenticeship Program. Real quick, for those that are not familiar with the Marine Industries Association of South Florida, we were created in 1961. We are a not-for-profit trade organization that basically our whole goal is to protect the marine industry. That's basically the easiest way to put it. As Senator Geller said, we are one of the largest economic impacts here in South Florida next to tourism. So it's super important that we protect that. We are the yachting capital of the world, and we also need to protect that because we cannot lose it to it. We could very easily lose it to another state, and we need to make sure that that doesn't happen. We are the largest marine trade organization in the Southeast United States dedicated to promoting, protecting, and growing the 140,000 plus jobs in our region. As we know, it's all about jobs, jobs, jobs. So the goal of our apprenticeship program is to develop high-skill, high-wage shipyard service technicians to help with career advancement opportunities and to be a valuable resource for not only the employer, but also the employee, because it has to be a two-way street. Apprenticeship goals: learning new skills, understanding new proficiencies, growth, expanding their personal brand. That's something that I always speak to them about. It's so important to invest in yourself, and just, your personal brand is really, what you own. Everybody owns their personal brand, and it's important to grow it and do the right thing. Gaining exposure and gaining confidence. It's, being more involved in the apprenticeship program than I thought I would be. I've learned a lot, and it's actually very eye-opening. As much as I wasn't expecting, I didn't expect to be in the position I am, but at the same time, I am learning so much from it. So it's kind of hit me. I don't know how to explain it really, but it's hit me a little bit emotionally, if that's the right word, because I see what I am doing to the students and what they're getting out of it, and it's very impactful. So one of the things is, I always tell them, invest in yourself. That's what you're doing. That's why you're here. You're investing in yourself. You might not be getting paid to be sitting right here, in the classroom tonight when I'm talking to them, but you're investing in yourself. So imagine what that is doing for you. So our program is a 2-year program. We go straight through the year, so we're January all the way till the next December. There is no summer break or anything like that. Our classroom instruction, they work a full-time job at one of our participating companies, and to be a participating company, you do need to be a member of the Marine Industries Association of South Florida. We are a membership-driven organization. Best way to put it is we are the Chamber of Commerce, but for recreational boating. So it's important that we, again, it's all about protecting the industry.
So they have to have a minimum of on-the-job training of 4,000 hours and a minimum of 288 hours of classroom time to complete the program. And it's a nationally recognized credential. And just so I don't forget, we work in partnership with Atlantic Technical College. Roseanne, who introduced herself earlier, she's actually been, she's one of my mental saviors. She helps me a lot through at the school, so I appreciate that. Valerie from the state, so we're also partnered with the Florida Department of Education. I see a lot of people in this room that have helped me in so many ways, so I thank you. I'm not going to call you all out by name, but thank you very much. These are what the proficiencies that we teach in our class. Now, it's important to know that you're not going to come through our program and become a master master welder. You're not going to be a master shipyard carpenter. What this is an introduction into the shipyard skills. So you're going to touch on all of these topics. So we go, basic electric, general maintenance, hydraulic systems, pumps and plumbing, running gear, machining, shipyard lifting, shipyard safety, which is super important. We make sure that we give them not only OSHA 10, but specific maritime OSHA 10. Welding, fabrication, carpentry, employability, of course, that's a big one, as we've heard it already in this room. Without employability skills, we have a little bit of an issue. And painting. So these are the main proficiencies. We might add some more, but I've been really trying to get some feedback from the apprentices themselves. I actually had a good download with them the other day of things that they may want to see or things that they, because I think it's important. And we've already changed our standards once. We did a little tweak. We started the program, we were approved in 2019. Our first class started in 2020, which is interesting. But every year, we learn something different. We learn, okay, that doesn't work. We need to tweak that. So it's a complete learning process when you're starting an apprenticeship program. And I'm not even joking. I learn something every day that what we should be doing, maybe we should not be doing that, or we should tweak this, add this, remove this. So again, it's all a learning process. So I broke down here of, where we are, what we've been, where we've been, I guess. So 2020, our first class, we had 5 apprentices. 2021, class 2. Now remember, this is a 2-year program, but every January we start a new class. 19 apprentices, so to go from 5 to 19, that's a pretty good jump. And then to 24, and then this most recent class, we had 16. We actually had some that came in and were interested, but we had already started the class, so unfortunately it was too late, which was kind of a bummer, but here we are. Now attrition, that's always the interesting thing. From class 1, you can see we went from 5, but we had 3 complete. Class 2, this one hits my soul, because we had 19 and we had 6 complete. And the reason, I won't even get into the specific reasons, because there was a situation which I won't get into, so it really affected us, and it was out of our control. And so that one's a tough one for me. But class 3, we went from 24 to 10, and I will tell you that 10 is like, they've created like an allegiance with each other. They've created this bond, and I have to say they are they're my favorite class, because they act like a team. They all work so well together, and to me, I see them as the future. I can see how, they're going to they met each other during this class, but I can see, they're the next generation, and they're going to see and be, so, say 10 years down the road, they're going to be the next leaders, and they're all going to now know each other and be able to work together, and it's really neat to see how they are. Every class is different. And then my class 4 that just started, we have 16 apprentices. I may unfortunately need to remove one of them due to some actions he chose at work. Again, all things out of our control, but. So I put this slide together. I basically labeled it what happened, and that was kind of going back to the previous slide. So we had growth, we had interest, we had word of mouth, we had reputation. We still have growth, interest, word of mouth, reputation.
We have calls and emails coming through regularly with interest. And I get at least 1 or 2 calls a week or emails every single week interested, with somebody that's interested in the program. And not only is it the apprentices or people interested in being an apprentice, but now we're getting companies that, they're reaching out to us and saying, how can we be involved? So what's great is the message is really getting out there. People want to be involved. So I think that, the positive thing is we are going to continue to grow, and it's, really, really neat to see. Again, and at the top right, it's cut off, but it says nothing happened. So what happened? Nothing happened. Lives changed. So these are the things that I've learned why we lose some apprentices. I think I've had 1 out of all of those apprentices that I know, well, I take that back, 5 that chose to leave on their own, but again, it was a certain circumstance. But other than that, we've had nobody that has quit the program because they didn't like the program. So to me, I think that that's a great sign. That's, we've been through different instructors, as Senator Geller said. Currently, I am the instructor on record. So when we don't have specific, with the welding teacher teaching the welding class or the electric teacher teaching the electric, I go there every Tuesday and Thursday night, and I am that teacher of record. So I am learning a lot. To say the least. But again, things happen. People are terminated. More people are interested in joining during the next open enrollment. So when they call and I say, unfortunately, our next class doesn't start till January, what I do is I say, do me a favor, send me your resume. Some people are already in the industry, but what I'm noticing is a lot of them are not in the industry, which is actually, which I'd love to see, obviously. I say, just send me your resume. I'll keep it on file. I will send it to all of our participating companies, which right now we're at 24. Again, they have to be members of the association. Our goal is to keep growing that. But I keep their resume on file, number 1. Number 2, I share it. Even though they can't start the program, I still share it with our participating employers, because just because they can't start the program doesn't mean they can't start working. They can't get, I would love to, I try to get their foot in the door. I try to get them in the industry as quick as I can so that when January does come, they can start the next program. This is a little shameless plug here, but it's also important is Salty Jobs. I'm not playing a video or anything, but if you get a chance to look it up, Salty Jobs is a video series that we created. We're in our 5th season. It is geared mostly towards middle school and high school kids. Again, I use middle school because the earlier you can reach the kids, the better. And what we do is we have 1 or 2 hosts go to a member company of ours and do 1 or 2 jobs. And so that, I know when I was in middle school, I had no idea that the marine industry existed. I didn't know it existed when I was in high school, to be honest with you. I didn't know it existed until I fell into the job that I'm in, to be quite honest with you. But the vast amount of jobs that there are, so we try to highlight the jobs, and we try to, make it look fun. But you can be IT, you can be an electrician, you can be. It's actually. I could sit here all day and just name jobs, but if you get a chance to check out Salty Jobs, if you have kids, if you're a teacher, play it in your classrooms. It's so, everybody's on their phones. All the kids are on their phones, so that's why video is great. It's on YouTube, Salty Jobs, and we, like I said, 5 seasons, and we're gonna keep going. This here is just a little word salad, that's a weird word, but that I created. And the reason why, the words that are in here are words from my class when I was talking to them the other day. I was asking them, what are you seeing? What is the reason you're here? What are you seeing? And I thought their answers were very interesting. They're getting feedback. They're seeing pipelines. Working hard, mentors, I think that one stood out to me the most. It's interesting because you don't realize how impactful you are to these people, to these, and when I say my students or apprentices, I have apprentices that go from 19 years old into their 60s.
I have one gentleman that's been in the industry for 35 years, but he is just, he's been doing the same thing for 35 years, but he wants to learn these other things so that he has just a little bit of knowledge about what they are. So I think that says a lot, that he wants to grow his abilities, his skills, even though he's been in the industry for so long. But, they see a future, retention, progression, a work environment, cultures. They see different resources. They're meeting all these different people from other companies, so now they have resources. Confidence. They're growing confidence. They're growing, period. Positive. I don't know. You can see all the words, and you get my point. So the next generation of the maritime industry. And then I put this little highlighted thing on here because I think it makes me laugh, actually. Specifically, my newest class, they call me Mrs. Teacher. So something I thought I would never be called in my life. They actually text me it. Mrs. Teacher. But I do think it's nice. So they have on multiple occasions said, "Thank you, Mrs. Teacher, for the time you are putting into this and everything that you do for us. We appreciate it." Which I am blown away by that sometimes. But I have heard it multiple times, and that's kind of. You get frustrated that you're doing things that you never expected you were doing, but at the same time, like that hits you right in your heartstrings, and it makes it all worth it. So, anyway, I think, here we go, needed instructors. That's something that we have had the biggest challenge with, which is why, I am the instructor of record. For most of the things, how I'm getting through that, just in case you are, in a similar situation, is what I'll bring in people from the industry to speak on different topics. So unless we're using the ATC, like welding teacher, or their electric teacher, their carpentry teacher, what else do we use? There's like 4 or 5 of them that we use the teacher from Atlantic Tech. But for those that were not, we bring in industry speakers, and then that's what, they are covering those other subjects. So it's kind of a workaround, but at the same time, it's good because they get to see other people. They get to, again, they're exposed to other opportunities. Let me see, industry speaker.
Is this your last slide?
It is, yes. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, the point is invest in your employees, invest in yourself is my thing, so. Thank you very much. There's my contact information if anybody has any questions or wants to get in touch with me. Always happy to.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Teacher, I have 2 very, very quick
If you start
questions.
calling me that.
Okay. Number 1, what kind of certification do they get? You
So
said they get national
Yes,
certification.
so it's actually the certificate says a yacht service technician apprenticeship.
Okay.
Yes.
And number 2, obviously, when you said, carpentry, electrician, welding, so this is just a overall initial introduction, and then when they finish that, if they said, I really like the welding component, then they would enter a
Absolutely.
welding program.
That is correct.
Where they really
That is correct.
electrical or something like that.
Exactly, if they want
Great.
those credentials.
Okay, I would normally take questions, but we have 31 minutes left and 2 more speakers. So, thank you, Mrs. Teacher.
You're welcome. Oh, and one thing I am going to say this. Our program is no cost to the employer and no cost to the apprentice. Something that I think is very important to note, but that is no cost. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And henceforth, you will be known as Mrs. Teacher. Henceforth, you'll be known as Mrs. Teacher. Okay. Our next speaker is Barbara Cevieux, Business Services Manager, focusing on technology and construction for CareerSource Broward. And then our last speaker is Michael McDonald, and we have 31 minutes left.
Okay. I'm going to do my best.
Yes.
So thank you for having me today. Thank you for having us. Commissioner Geller, can you hear me?
Jacqueline, can you make sure the mic's on?
Hello? Better? Okay. Thank you for having us today.
It's on.
Thank you for our board members for being in the room. I'm going to try to make this as sweet and cute and fast as possible.
Thank you.
We are CareerSource Broward. We are here to help employers in Broward County save money and build their workforce. So as Broward County's premier workforce development agency, we connect employers to job seekers. That's our main purpose. So available work-based training programs. We have on-the-job training. We have upgrade OJT, which is upgrade on-the-job training. We have paid internships, incumbent worker training, and registered apprenticeship RAOJT. So that's what I'm going to focus on today because we have many individuals in the room, employers that have apprenticeship programs, but we also provide services to all employers in Broward County. So apprenticeship programs, for those of you who are not familiar with it, it prepares workers for jobs while meeting the needs of the businesses for a highly skilled workforce. Employer-driven, earn as you learn model combines hands-on training with classroom instructions. So a lot of employers that I go out and I meet, they talk about the struggle and the challenges of finding individuals. So why not focus on an apprenticeship program? And at CareerSource Broward, on our website, we provide a list of all the available apprenticeship programs for you to visit and get in contact with the individuals that are over those programs. So we are a resource, a conduit to the apprenticeship programs in Broward County. So apprenticeship programs target new hires or existing employees. So not only you're having challenges finding employees, you can also use the apprenticeship model to help upskill your current employees. Your program must be registered with the state. It must be a registered U.S. DOL, meaning U.S. Department of Labor or state registered apprenticeship program, on-site work training, and also online educational training. So it's a combination of on-site and online. So do you have a registered apprenticeship program and need financial assistance for training your apprentices? We're here to help you. This is our sole purpose, to make sure we get in front of employers and we're helping you save money while you're having your employees go through these apprenticeship programs. Employers receive up to 75% in wage reimbursement for each apprentice. The training period can be up to 6 months. So employers can receive up to $18,750 per employee in the wage reimbursement. Say that again?
What was that number?
$18,750 per employee.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Thank you. So, benefits of an apprenticeship for employers. It builds a pipeline to skilled workers. The employee gains, works in customized skills training. So that's something else we can help you with. Normally, outside of the apprenticeship program, we can help you customize their training plan. So that's something I can talk to you a little further depending on what your need is. And I'll give my card out after the presentation. Boost retention. Bring in new talent or upskill your incumbent workers to provide a career path as apprentices develop their talent. Make a positive return on investment and save on wages. Employer customers. So these are some of the employers that we've provided reimbursements to, and you'll notice the numbers are a little different. This is based on how many employers, the size of your company, so it's on a case-by-case basis, but you definitely have the opportunity to receive reimbursement funds.
Since Balfour Beatty just came back into the room, what was that number that you could give, the maximum again?
$18,750.
Per employee?
Per employee.
Just wanted to make sure you heard that. Okay.
So some of the other solutions we provide, we have job postings on our Employ Florida system, which is our system of record. You, as an employee, you can go there and create a profile. This is how you can track job seekers who apply for your positions. So this is our system of record. We can help you with setting it up, or you can just go to Employ Florida and set it up as an employer and find talent that is in our database. We have talent recruitment. This means we help you with recruiting events. So what we would do is we provide the marketing, we send out the e-blast to the job seekers who meet the requirements you're looking for, and then you can have it in one of our centers. We have 3 centers in the county, one at North, one in the middle county, which is like off Oakland Park, and then we have one at South, just to make it convenient to you as an employer. We help you with the whole process. When you come in and have a recruiting event with us, we set aside a room if needed. You have a room where you can do one-on-one interviewing, and we've had a slew of employers hire on the spot. So that's another opportunity for you. Candidate pre-screening, there's an opportunity to open a job order. Once you open a job order, there's an option to choose you'd like the candidate to be pre-screened. What we do there is we look for the requirements that you're looking for before the job seeker even gets to meet you. So we help you in that aspect. Human resources tools, some of the other tools that we provide you as an employer in Broward County, career fairs and financial assistance for employee. So I don't want to take all the time to talk about it. Let our customers, our employers who have used our services tell you themselves.
With CareerSource Broward, we've been working with the apprenticeship reimbursement program they reimburse up to 75% of the wages for a 6-month period. We probably have been reimbursed in the area of $100,000 or so.
CareerSource is one of those agencies that will come in and help you 100%, employing people, getting you the right people there to the right job, to the right places, trying to give you the funding that you need for other people that need the help. That's CareerSource.
We've been working with CareerSource Broward through the Yacht Service and Technician Program sponsored through the Marine Industries Association of South Florida. It's definitely been great to help grow the industry and improve. There's such a need for talent in this industry, and it's great to have a supporter like CareerSource Broward helping us find folks.
CareerSource Broward has made a huge impact on our business. If you're not connecting with CareerSource, if you're not partnering with them, you're missing out on a lot of qualified applicants and people that would have a great time coming into your place of business.
I got into ChildNet through the foster care system, and CareerSource reached out to me, got me a job at the Boys and Girls Club, and I love it so far.
I was a single mom who needed assistance, and I was able to have this program and went through employment and even some schooling, and fast forward, I am the deputy mayor of the city of Sunrise, and I appreciate the humble beginnings where I came from and thankful to your program.
They were there assisting me in every direction possible. It was just amazing. And I just want to say thank you guys for giving me the opportunity, because if it wasn't for CareerSource Broward, I really just don't know where I would be at this point in my life.
Job training for politicians too?
So I would admonish everyone, follow us on social media. This is where we post everything that's happening in-house. There's so much happening. There's so much innovation, so many connections. This is the best way to follow us and find out what's happening. If you have any questions, definitely you can take a picture of that or scan it. That will give you the opportunity to connect with us. You can fill out your information and we'll get back to you. Okay.
If you are not familiar with CareerSource and you are a private employer, you're missing out. You should be. Questions? Jacqueline, are you here? Can you help pass around the mic?
Flyer for the OJT reimbursement that you can distribute possibly to the employer?
Absolutely. I can get that to you, Commissioner.
Okay, can you repeat the question, please? Because
he would like Mr. Charbel is asking, do we have a one-page flyer that explains the OJT program and how the employers can benefit from it? We do.
Okay. And if anybody wants copies of anything, any of the presentations or anything else, if you contact my office, we'll distribute. That question was known as a softball question. I normally salt the audience when I'm speaking with people to ask questions like that. Are there any additional questions?
Yes. Carol, our president, would like to say something really quick.
Please just remember, go to a mic.
1 minute. Thank you so much. I would just like to add that on April 20th, we have a Learn, Work, Win event. We are partnering with the Urban League of Broward County and Hispanic Unity, and it's going to be a job fair where we have a number of employers come, so please let your residents know, and it's going to be an educational fair. We provide about 200 programs that we scholarship, up to $12,000, including transportation, and we're also providing a laptop and Wi-Fi to bridge the digital divide. So we will be able to do on-the-spot scholarship eligibility, and veterans always, of course, have priority of service. We'll be providing free haircuts, have a career closet, and resume assistance, and professional headshots. So just wanted you to be able to spread the word.
And if you will get that information to my office, I'll distribute it in my emails.
Absolutely.
Commissioner Geller, if you don't mind, I have one more.
Go ahead.
Short.
Go, sure.
We are having an employer forum on April 12th. Some of you might have gotten the invite. Please register. This is an opportunity for employers to come in, education providers in the construction industry, to come in and just, vent and share information where we as an agency can put some things in place to try to help you with those challenges. Okay, so come. Most of you might have gotten the invite, but please make sure you attend. Thank you.
We have time for one more question, if there are any. Are there any additional questions? If not, thank you. That was a really, really good presentation. And again, one of the reasons why I urge people to come. Before I introduce Sandy Michael McDonald, our film commissioner, Sandy Leiterman, snuck in. Sandy, we already spoke about the jobs in the film, but I just wanted to see if anybody had any questions for Sandy Leiterman. She's over there. Our final speaker today is our director of the Office of Economic and Small Business Development. I assume most of you know him. Really good guy who's been doing a lot in the community. Sandy Michael McDonald. Sandy, take it away.
Thank you, Commissioner. It's still that time. Good morning.
Yes.
Y'all done fell asleep. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
I appreciate that.
When you speak into a mic, it amplifies.
And good morning, Miss Teacher.
That's Mrs. Teacher.
Mrs. Teacher. I got you now, Lori. So, gang, what I'm going to do is, because the Commissioner's right, he does end all of his meetings on time, sometimes like 48 seconds before, but he ends on time. I'm now for you, based on today and based on the last 3.5 years, we're just simply going to connect the dots. So the county currently has a CAP, a county apprenticeship program, but it's not your apprenticeship program. We're not in the day-to-day of apprenticeship. But what we did decide with the leadership of the commissioner is that, hey, to support high-wage paying jobs, he's the leader, his colleagues follow, they want to bring high-wage paying jobs to Broward. So to do so, one of the many initiatives, he created the CAP, the County Apprenticeship Program. And it's an ordinance. And what it says in short, for all county projects of $5 million or more.
And we're considering revising that number.
And he and I are going to be meeting by the end of the summer to revisit that based on projects to date. The program just simply stipulates businesses who go after those solicitations, if those businesses win, similar to my program, they're required to use small businesses. I set goals of at least 25% of whatever the county builds. That convention center, the expansion, that hotel that's going to happen, at least 25% of what's paid will go to Broward small businesses. The commissioner has also decided, along with his colleagues, when we're doing major projects, at least 12% of the labor should be in the form of apprenticeships. So what are we really saying to businesses who bid after the supervisor of election building, who goes after the next joint county facility or the county facility, or any of our major projects? What we're actually saying, if you win this contract as a business, you have to commit in your solicitation that you're willing to meet the apprenticeship requirement of at least 12% labor. So once the solicitations come in, once this reviewed, once it comes to the commission for approval, whoever's ranked number 1 and wins the county contract, during their negotiation, they have to now identify which apprenticeships they would use. That's why we're here. We have the list with our partner from the state of all the state-approved apprenticeships. Businesses will now have to know who they are, who you are. They now have to reach out to you before their final negotiation, because they have to be committed to working with your students for at least 12% of the hour. We don't tell them which apprenticeships. We don't tell them how many. We just simply say your percentage of labor must be 12%. So that's the county's program, and as the commissioner mentioned, we are going to look at it towards the end of this summer. We're going to see if my $5 million needs to drop to 2.5. We're going to take a look at existing projects to see, based on LCP tracker, what kind of information we're collecting. Are we getting all the information? Are we understanding the trades? Are we understanding the majority of the industries being used? Do we understand what folks are being paid via the trades as well as labor? We want to know that because, again, the intent of the program from the county is to assure that we're creating high wage paying jobs. So that's CAP, the County Apprenticeship Program. On our website, broward.org/econdev, you can read more about CAP and all of its intentions. But the second part of why we've been doing this, the commissioner started, it is about convening and collaborating. As we just said about connecting the dots. Every single apprenticeship program as approved by the state that's here in Broward, and I'll even say as far as South Florida, all of them should know all of our other community-based partners, the other nonprofits, the other community-based organizations, our other public institutions and activity organizers who are also working with youth, young adults, and adults. The idea that why would an apprenticeship program not be aware of the career fairs that we just talked about? The idea, why would an apprenticeship program not be aware of the funds available via CareerSource, if not for them as an apprenticeship program, but when selling my program to an employer, maybe that's something as an apprenticeship program, I should make sure I tell an employer so they know, hey, you could be sponsoring a student in my program, but in case you didn't know, as an employer, you should be connecting with CareerSource. These meetings are about making sure everyone has the information to connect the dots that supports each of your individual goals and requirements for your programs, your operations, and why you do what you do daily. The other part that we're going to be moving towards, and the commissioner, I'll be talking about this later, coming out of the summer. The next thing, based on all the good information we heard today, guys, now I'll do this the way I do my entrepreneurs and my startup businesses. For all the good that we do that I hear, that we've been hearing for about almost 4 years, it's for naught if we're not using all the tools and the resources and the platforms to touch the target market we're attempting to reach. We just reached out to the state, so we know the 4 state-approved pre-apprenticeships right here in Broward. Our office now wants to know, is there anybody else who has some form of a pre-apprenticeship program? And we're certainly encouraging folks to make sure you're registered with the state. The ideal of all the support services that the vocational schools do here in Broward, what we do in Broward in schools, which includes the pre-apprenticeship programs, all that JA does, all that CareerSource does, what I've heard about Gang Alternative, who's been to several of our meetings. This is the first time the commissioner had them to officially present. The reality is, whether you're targeting the 16 through the 24, which is the state's age range for the pre-apprenticeship, whether you're targeting the apprenticeship programs, for those who are actually willing to take the time to do those 3 and 4 year programs, or whether we're just simply trying to advertise and educate students and parents about pre-apprenticeship and apprenticeship, because we got to be crystal clear. Even though the program is 16 to 24 for pre-apprenticeship, we are missing the beat on the advertising if we're not making sure a 7th, 8th, and 9th grader, they're not 16 yet, folks, heard what Lori said, understands what the crane operators are
Excuse me,
actually
that's
doing.
what Mrs. Teacher said.
Oh, I'm sorry, what Mrs. Teacher said. We have to be serious about the fact that we are unfortunately, in this game, about 87 years late with the major advertising, promotion, and marketing of trades. Don't get it wrong, I'm from Michigan, union forever. But at the end of the day, we had all the shops when I came through high school. I had colleagues that I went off to college on a football scholarship. Either you go to GM at $18 an hour in 1979, or you went into that apprenticeship program because your father, your grandfather, your brother, and your uncle had done the same. But even GM, I moved here in 2013, even GM announced in 2015 that they would get to 2029 and 72% of all of their trades, not the robotics folks, their trades, those master welders that we have, will all be retired. So even the industry knew that they were going to fall short. The next part of what the commission and I are going to be doing, we'll continue CAP. We're just going to revisit it to make sure that there's more projects for businesses to have to work with the apprenticeship programs. We want to continue to convene to make sure that there's real connectivity between apprenticeships, pre-apprenticeships, and all of these other community-based organizations, nonprofit organizations, 501c3s, public entities, vocational schools, to make sure that folk can really collaborate and work together. But we have to focus on how we sell your message to the target populations who need to hear it. So this is one of the things that we are recognizing. Yep, I'm 60 plus. However, everyone who needs this message is not going to go to my website. They're not going to go to your website. So we want to help you, because we have to take a look at how we can make sure everything you're talking about, everything we're doing, gets to that day and age of apps. Gets to that day no different than colleges and university. You can now go to an app, and based on your GPA, based on your SAT and or ACT, and you can plug in your interest, and all the colleges and universities of your interest will populate, and it'll tell you everything from enrollment to annual cost to room and board, the entire 9 yards. It'll even tell you who the mascots are for the university. Guess what? If we can't do that with an app about trades, if we don't do that with an app about pre-apprenticeship programs and trades, if we don't do that to make sure that they actually know that you can be in a trade in Broward, get paid while you're in a trade from Broward, graduate with a trade from Broward, be guaranteed a job post-graduation in a trade in Broward, and actually have no college debt, folks, if we don't find different ways to advertise, market, and promote that, we'll be having this conversation for the next decade plus. So we recognize our next initiative is to continue what we've started, but we have to find a way to find ways to assist you on a larger front, and we have partnerships. Even President Hale understands the importance of apprenticeships. It's not competing against community colleges, four-year institutions, grad programs. James said it best. This is really understanding every young person must have choices post K-12. And trades are one of the real options and opportunities that unfortunately just isn't sexy anymore because it's not being talked about. But they do pay real salaries, and many of them do end up in my shop because they have the trade, but they don't plan to work for nobody, so they start their own company. And that's even far more exciting for what we do. So we just want to make sure that you guys recognize that this started because the commissioner wants to continue to make sure high-wage paying jobs come to Broward. He made sure that the county could do its part. We're not trying to do what you guys do. We just simply say if the county's doing something, they need to use apprentice. And now we recognize bringing you together makes sense. There is nothing that you haven't heard today that some of you can't use, or you don't know someone else who needs to know that information. But the next thing, we have to get ready to focus. It needs to be TV, radio, national, international. We have to raise the level because the commissioner's original statements in this at the beginning, parents still are some of the biggest advocates and influencers on their kids. But at the end of the day, parents too need to know that, you know, you can support the college you went to. And a lot of our parents didn't go to college either. But before you push that envelope, and it's not this or that, you really do need to know that your child can get paid, they can be trained, have a job after the training, and it didn't cost him $1,000, $100,000, $200,000 in loan, and nor did you as the parent go into debt. That's not a national message. We have to make that a message. So that's one of the things that our office is doing along with the commissioner. So again, thank you for continuously to attend. As the commissioner originally said, if you know others who need to be in this room, we definitely want you to share that with us. And again, he said it a few times, exchange your information. Guys, his mailing list, along with my other 8 commissioners, our office, you have to tell us when you're doing something so that we can put it out there. That's another way about making sure those who know and those who don't know and those who need to know get this message. Share your information with us in advance. We'll push it out. Thanks.
Sandy, thank you. That's an excellent wrap-up of what we were discussing. Let me ask if I have time for 1 or 2 questions of Sandy. If there are any, we have about 5 minutes left, although there will be some announcements. Are there any questions for Sandy? If not, thank you, Sandy. Let me repeat what you've heard. Number one, if you do need us to share things, let us know at least 3-4 weeks in advance, and we are happy to share. As you can see, I'm passionate on this issue of creating the high-paid trade jobs because they're great for the workers and they're great for the economy, and if we don't have them, we're in trouble. Before we go, let's see, I see Mark who introduced himself as the director of the South Florida Building Trades. We have Sandy Leiterman there, the film commissioner. We have Michael McDonald. Is ABC still here? They left, all right? Well, then I won't. We have the schools over there. If anybody has any questions for anybody, I see JA also sitting back there. If there's anybody that has any questions or you need to talk to anybody before you leave, probably a good time to talk to people. If there's nothing else, I would like to thank everybody for being here. Are there any announcements that anybody has that we need to hear about? And if not, it is 10:56. I always finish my meetings on time. We are adjourned. Thank you.